Welcome back to Book of Dawn, IOTH Academy. I'm your dungeon master, tormented by gnomes, joined, of course, by Crowan, Leg Day, Lemon Kiwi, and Necra. If you're just joining us, we are at the halfway mark, and our heroes are so very close to finishing their fourth year at IOTH Academy. And it seemed like everything was going to go just fine. They were ready to turn in their end-of-year projects, and then their house exploded.
Ow.
Bringing the attention of the suspicious master of security at IOTH Academy, Inreal Untermauler, the venerable war mage Minotaur, who arrived on the scene with a bone to pick with our young students. They've crossed paths on multiple occasions, and it seems this is the exact right opportunity to arrange an opportunity to really have a sit-down chat with some of them about the suspicious things that have happened over the years with these four. Nonetheless, they are ushered off to the apothecary. Ned is able to use a healing ring that he generated to help Athalor recover faster. It's a perfect opportunity for him to test that out for his final project. It doesn't scramble your brains. It works real good, actually.
Good.
Thank you, Ned.
It uses soothing vibrations sort of powered by the primal music and inspired by bardic magic. So it synthesizes nicely. It synthesizes nicely.
Will my uncle feel this? He'll be like, what the fuck is going on? You're messing with my host.
And here's your host.
We hate this song. You're able to recover, and the nice thing about magic is that even when you blow a huge hole through the underside of your dorm, magic exists, and it's not that hard to repair things. They're able to fix within the day. They just get maybe a second day because they needed somebody to prepare different spells. But they show up, they've got caretakers with minor magic. Some of the actual transmutation mages show up and just mending on overdrive. They repair the whole thing. Hildegard is going to have to go into the office. She's not necessarily in trouble, but they're like, okay, we need to see the diagrams. We need to see your sketches. We need to see what you've been working on. We need to do a post-mortem on what exactly happened and maybe have a conversation about where we practice these things and firearm safety. So she's not in trouble. She's not, expelled, but she's got some extra homework she's going to have to do. Some rules and regulations stuff.
And the other artificers are under watch now.
This group, they're going to be fun next year. All right. Now, in the aftermath of this, everybody's turned in their papers. And on the whole, you all did very, very well. You all did very well. I think that Garnet has the highest grade of the lot of you.
I definitely have the lowest.
With Alexander closely behind. Athalor snuck by. He did all right. But Arianna's grades, she definitely passed. She absolutely passed. But in the matter of the codex, they are expected to be the best of the best and to deliver a very high level of academic performance. Henan and Cryas Alexander are going to want to have a word with what are the protocols? When do we process ranks? Is it once a year? Is it twice a year? What's our actual procedure going to be for doing these evaluations?
Yeah, it would probably be twice a year, once midpoint, once at end of year. Mm-hmm. There might be major exceptions outside of those that you could farther form means to bring up with. Mm-hmm. But Alex had obviously tried to vouch for Arianna, suggesting that she brings a lot of value into the codex while all of it isn't in the academics. She's doing very helpful personal research that could be, or that is, benefiting the codex. And so her skills there are definitely widely regarded, but will take note of her academic performance. And if Alex will word it to them, another incident occurs of this, then she'll be put on, the academic probation rank, which I think is the was it initiate?
My
Yeah.
rank.
Yeah, basically Athalor's rank. Which he was
would-
forced to be there.
I would like to point out, though, I think Cryus would also vouch for me because I did save his ass by killing 2 red caps. So
True.
he doesn't have a
True.
table to stand on right now.
Yeah.
It's like I will
fair.
kick your ass like those red caps did.
I can
guess
throw
I'd-
a fireball at you and it won't miss like the 3 that you shot at that one. So
Ow.
Scared of you. I've seen you cast Scorching Ray.
Yeah, you missed, and yet he still burned.
Oh man.
All right. Alexander, roll a persuasion check. Arianna, roll either intimidation or persuasion. Your call.
which one is better for me?
12.
Oh, definitely persuasion.
Okay. All right.
Okay. He's doing that thing where he needs to save face and not seem too easily persuaded, because after all, we did put literally in one of our core values is maintaining an extremely high level of academic performance.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
In light of recent meritorious service, in namely saving the asses of several extremely important members of the aforementioned organization, it seems fair to grant a semester of clemency in this regard.
Yes, that's
Hennon
rather
looks back and
agreeable.
forth at the two of you like, what did I miss?
Gotta shake hands on that. That seems very agreeable, I'm sure. Arianna
All
will. It's just us 3 talking, the me, Hennon, and Cryus. about
Yeah,
this, or-
Arianna burst into the
Arianna,
room or
or-
something. She
oh,
made
burst-
herself heard
okay.
one way or another. It was a private conversation. She was like,
Yeah.
excuse me, mister.
Gotcha.
Just drops in the entire Navy SEAL copy pasta. Okay.
I'll have you know.
All right. So, he's also going through reports are coming in from all the other members of the Codex, and he's going to take some time going through that with everybody, all 3 members of leadership, but we can handle that off the air,
Yep.
of course. Handle ranks. He's got a lot of questions about things. He's been doing some research on the ring. He's picked out the perfect chapter house for everybody next year. It is named after the wizard Tarsalmur. And it's built on several rocks in the middle of a lake, an artificial lake in the ring. It's this nice, it's got towers and halls and a greenhouse and lots of capacity and the proper facilities for this dueling thing that you want to run, and a basement for us to stick all the artificers in.
Sounds perfect. Yeah.
All right.
We have to bully people out of this house to get transfers in because, hey, specialist skill set.
They should be able to move in. It won't all be Codex people at first because you've got some people departing and some people staying. Although I may not have written it that way. I will double check on that. Either way, the house is going to have vacancies. And so he briefly inquires about roommates. It sounds like you've got that whole situation handled. I think he might be thinking about rooming with Ned. No offense. I know he just talked about artificers. It's not personal. It's just, the more floors we put between us and whatever they're building, probably the better.
Yeah, I guess Alex would say, I encourage you all to, suppose, room with other Codex members. But if you have friends outside, I'm not going to stop you. I might want to,
No, why would
revisit
I
it for
settle for anything less
confirmation.
than the best of the best?
Of course, I expected nothing less from you, Cryus, of course. But we can have confirmation with everybody and see where the best fits for everyone would be.
All right, I'll take care of it. And he has a list of everyone's names and who's agreed to do Codex House and all sorts of other paperwork and stuff. Meanwhile, Hennon is just sitting back thinking about what sort of tapestries and banners they're going to put on the walls and how to get proper airflow through the whole place. More on that later. Now, at the end of the school year, Everyone gets 2 weeks off. There's no summer vacation. Nobody goes home in this infernal haunted world until you fully graduated. But you get 2 weeks off. You can spend that time as you please. Except for Garnet, who is going to have to spend some of that time in Untermauler's office.
Ah, damn it!
We postponed
Why?
it. How we prepping for it?
Ah.
He still wants to talk. Again, we never got a chance to talk about that security issue, and it seems like it's relevant to what's been going on. Cryas is also extremely worried, and he hid all of that information in his paper, but he hasn't shared that bit about the Dawn Sphere depleting with literally anybody else.
Oh, I thought that was like his whole project.
Yeah,
Yes,
but he hasn't
it's
shared his
really-
thoughts about it being linked to IOTH with anybody else. He's not
Oh,
like
right. Okay.
running around telling everybody in the codex about it.
Mhm.
Has Garnet shared that with anybody?
No.
Okay.
Secret safe fish between us.
Right. So she's not telling Alexander, Athalor, or Arianna.
I mean, it hasn't come up in conversation yet. Like, if we were to talk about the hag or the fae, like, maybe get brought up. But it's just like, if it gets brought up, but otherwise, not gonna be like, hey, look what I heard, you know, like.
Okay. All
Seems
right.
private.
Alexander, actually, you know what? Let's go in reverse order. Arianna, is there anything that you want to spend your 2 weeks off doing? Anything you want to throw in before we move on to the final scene of the year and you get your fancy blue robes and you get to start moving on to the ring and life changes for everybody?
How old are we gonna be next year? 15?
You will be either 15 or 16. You're 10 or 11 in your first year, 11 or 12. So you're going to be, no, 10 or 11. So you're either 14 or 15. You're not 16 yet.
Try to think.
We're gonna go get pierced.
That's what I was thinking about actually. So for those just context, we all created a character in this like online builder from Riot, and it might be time to do that.
Okay.
Who would be sufficient in piercing?
Uh-oh.
Is there
That's a
any,
great
would you want to
question.
ask somebody for help inside of your school? Would you want to be, what would you want to do with that?
I guess we can't leave, can we?
Correct.
During the 2 weeks break, is there
Mhm.
easier access between the lodges?
Yeah, there is.
Sure,
But
someone
not
has a
access to
piercing.
places like the ring.
Correct. You're underclassmen. You're not allowed in the ring.
Okay, maybe
Aw.
I'm gonna wait then.
Mm-hmm.
Someone a little older might be a little bit more experienced, might be a little bit more helpful. I guess like she would just kind of spend her time, writing home to her parents, just telling them about what happened over the course of the year, assure them that she is fine, she is alive,
Mm-hmm.
she is healthy, nothing went wrong, everything is good. And then she'd probably just work on some of her other random projects. Like,
Okay. Not really doing anything for fun, not really relaxing, just growing plants.
yep.
Okay.
Just growing.
Not more
you
dating.
know?
No, she's done with that.
All right.
Aw.
You have your 3
Aw.
samples that you've grown, right?
Mm-hmm.
So are you still cultivating those plants? Or the plant
mean-
that
She's like making sure that they're alive.
Okay. Roll a
But-
nature check, please.
She's not really. Oh, okay. We'll see what I say depending on what this roll is.
What were you going to say depending on that roll?
Oh, thank you for last week.
Yo!
Oh,
Wowie!
huge.
Okay.
Dog.
Your experiments with that elemental water stuff that you were doing, that paid off. You now have a 4th harvested dose of this stuff, and the plant is thriving.
Let's
You
go.
now have enough for the whole family.
Oh,
God.
man.
Hey, a little
yes.
sesh.
Well,
A session on holiday.
That would be a fun one-off episode.
oh God, I'm gonna regret this later. No, but I think that like she would also spend time just like not only making sure that that was going well, but also like what is she gonna do to move this thing?
That's a good question. Cryus has been talking nonstop about this place that you guys are going to move into, and they have a greenhouse on the roof
Very exciting.
for all the
Rooftop
botanists.
garden!
Yeah, I don't think people would take kindly to it just being there.
Sounds like a problem that needs to be solved.
You know what? At this point, she doesn't know what to do, and she's really proud of her work. It's the end of the 4th year. We're gonna get to the 5th year, I swear. But I think it's about time she actually talks to her old botany teacher. This can't go wrong.
To old
Right?
Sig?
She's already harvested what she needs to, and now the plant is thriving. She knows she can replicate it again if she really needed to. So, hey, Siggy!
Siggy.
Yes.
I have to show you something. I was working on it for a little bit, but I think I'm ready to show you because I kind of also need some help. I'm not really sure what to do with it, but this way.
All right. Sig, who again is a tall, spindly human with sunken eyes and hollow cheeks, accompanied and clawed at by a swarm of ravens that goes with them wherever they go, a little bit bedazzled in bird droppings, follows you all the way from the Great Hall up to the Grove. It's a long journey. And into not all the way into the heart of the river where Dubasif was last seen, but to your secret stash. This is Mordain.
Yeah, I grew it.
Officer, she doesn't mean that.
Ossifer, it's nothing.
Well, no, hear me out. I thought it would be really cool to find a very difficult plant that only grew in a couple of places. One, to be precise, and see if it could also grow here. Not only did I learn that a lot of plants need very specific things in order to actually grow, but it was also a success. Look at all the things that you taught me that I was able to apply to this thing.
Roll a persuasion check, please, Arianna.
Oh, I hope this works.
I used my dice already, so uh-oh.
You got this. No, you don't got this.
Uh-oh.
Arianna,
Huh.
you know how poisonous the Mordain plant is?
That didn't occur to me.
You've been growing it for how many years?
Well, it was a success this year.
Look, I know academic performance is not your highest priority,
He's calling dumb.
but you're not dumb. This plant is in exceptional condition, given the surroundings. It's the wrong climate. Soil has the wrong acidity. It should be waterlogged in slightly alkaline, fetid bog water. And yet, it's flourishing.
I know. I did that.
So obviously you know it's really, really poisonous because you're smart.
Yeah, I might have figured that out.
Also, it makes you see stuff.
Haven't figured that out yet.
You didn't read that once. You got a hold of this incredibly rare flower that only grows in the Black Dragon bogs. And that's all you know about it.
Okay, listen. There's a difference. between knowing about it and experiencing it. Okay, I only know about it.
So you've
So
never
yes, I know about
inhaled.
it. Hmm?
Roll a perception check, please, Arianna.
Hey, Siggy's one of the cool teachers.
An 11.
You're gonna share that money.
Sell it.
Okay. Arianna, I need to take this. This cannot just be out here. It can't be unsupervised in student custody. Where are you living next year?
The ring.
Duh.
What are you, dumb, Sig?
Okay. I'm going to take this. I'm going to keep it in custody. And we'll talk next year, okay?
Okay.
All
I just
right.
wanted to be up there so I can, keep experimenting, getting better at.
Wrong word. Bad word for this particular plan.
Okay. Bad choice of words. Mm.
I'm gonna test some hypotheses.
In IOTH Academy, there's a very fine line between blowing the whole place up and revolutionizing magic. You're right
Revolutionizing
here. All right?
Mhm.
You're right here. Wiggly wogglety.
I like
You
this
know,
one.
this is not the response I thought I was gonna get for this. But okay, we'll talk about it next year.
It's very impressive. Don't ever do this again.
Noted.
All right. Sig
Okay.
starts starts digging it
I've
up.
identified this is the good shit. Didn't even need to cast the spell.
I'm very proud. We will never speak of this again.
What?
No, you and I will talk about it next year. I'm going to set up some classes, all right? We'll
Mhm.
keep working together, but under my supervision.
That's fair. Okay.
You don't have any more of this, do you?
No.
Just
Roll a
one more,
deception check, please.
Uh-oh.
You have inspiration from chat earlier.
Rolls to keep the drug
And we're using it now.
17. $18.
Ooh.
That is on the line of sus, but not found out.
So that's a no.
All right. Sig is going to confiscate the plant, take very careful measurements, and ask for any notes that you have so that they can make sure they keep this thing alive.
You better not kill this thing. Don't understand how
Roll for
hard I
intimidation.
worked on
If-
this.
You know the street value of this?
Roll intimidation, Arianna. Pat. Look, if I have any trouble with the thing, I will let you know. You'll be the first one I call because, frankly, this shouldn't have been possible.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to keep it alive, and you can keep working on it next year with me under no other circumstances, all right?
Okay.
All right. Good job, though. Let me see those notes. This is, wow. All right. So, assuming that you go along with it, you and Sig Gezig will remove the plant, and they actually have a glass jar that freezes it in time, effectively. Completely halts.
It's the Beauty and the Beast flower. Okay.
Yeah, they got the Beauty and the Beast flower. So that way they can make sure that the circumstances are completely correct for reintroducing it. Totally fine.
Cool.
Not gonna die. Gonna be transplanted when we've had time to go over this together and make sure that the new circumstances are good for it. All right.
All right.
And it's getting locked up in my office until then, so that no kids can go trouncing through the Fifth Kingdom.
Yeah, okay.
All right, so the two of you work together. The Mordain flower is collected. Sig is both impressed and also alarmed.
Oops.
Athalor, what are you doing in your 2 weeks off?
Athalor would very proudly write home about his artifice creation to his mother and father, especially to his mother. Like, hey, I did the thing you do as well. Oh my god. And it works, mostly.
Do you or do you not include the part where you turned a cat into a living fireball?
We will leave that out.
All right, an omission.
As it may well also be read by the censors of IOTH Academy. And,
anything else during those 2 weeks?
I think that Athalor would probably try and indulge some of his home comforts and see if there's like a dramatic society.
Mm-hmm. Well, definitely in the ring.
A little bit of acting.
Definitely in the ring. That's a much bigger thing in the ring.
Mm-hmm. Just like some amateur stuff between the lodges. Now they've all got 2 weeks off.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Roll
act
persuasion
out
and
some
performance to try to put together Shakespeare in the Park.
Nice. Persuasion and performance, did you say?
Mm-hmm.
Here is El Persuasiono. Might as well use lucky dice. We're in frozen time anyway.
Exactly.
Baby.
Slightly better.
Again. And now El Performance.
All right, you're making an impact. Drama kid.
McKellen, baby.
Drama kid. Excellent. Alexander, what are you doing in your 2 weeks off?
Alex would, I think, for one, spend time kind of mingling with people in the Codex. Wants to like kind of learn about everyone a little bit, like check in to see like what the artificers are working on, check in with everybody else, check in on Hildegard specifically if see if you know they're all right after the run-in with Untermauler. Probably spend some time with Darina as well. I know
Darina
like,
totally wants to like, let's go hiking, let's go up to the grove, let's go all the way down to the cove and you get some sun on the beach. Let's explore the grotto while we can run around. Let's go.
Alex probably wouldn't be like full on Darina's pace, but like would be, you know, doing some of it. Would also task Henan with starting to come up with like flyer designs for this like dueling tournament for next year for the Codex for the ring.
Looks up from his swatches.
Yeah. I just imagine Henan has like really good handwriting.
He's already got like this design of these two birds locked in aerial combat, and it's perfectly symmetrical, like flourishes that go all the way out to the edge of.
Nice, perfect. And Alex, do one more thing. Oh, actually, two more things. Would want to this meeting with Untermauler that Garnet has is like a looming thing. So I want to like, you know, maybe get the gang together and like prep for that or something.
Get your story on the same page. Okay.
Yeah.
Please.
All right.
Council.
Go over, yeah.
The council will now meet to decide Garnet's fate.
Get the group together. So Garnet, you know, I wasn't there for all of what occurred on the gala day, but Untermauler, is that going to be all right? Do you need like help with that? What's
I don't know. I really don't know what to expect, but if I go missing, please report. Please tell somebody if I don't come back.
Missing?
DM question. I our potion of psychic resistance, could that also be used to get an advantage on saving throws against psychic ailments? Like truth serum kind of things on the brain?
Under normal circumstances, no. With some alchemical modification, perhaps.
Because we do have this potion of psychic resistance if you wanted to go in with a somewhat bolstered mind.
I'm not feeling like I need to battle, and I think I would get bodied, potion or no potion. But I would
I'm
love
just saying
some guidance. Maybe we can make a connection. You guys could, help me out a little bit.
Give you some actual guidance. Magical.
Yeah, actual magical
Actual
guidance.
magical guidance before
Might
you
be
go in.
cool.
yeah, we could definitely link before you go.
Oh, link up.
Mhm.
All right, touch fingers.
Is this for everyone or?
Well,
I
we
don't-
gotta make a connection, right?
I don't know what's happening. Sure.
Okay.
Best of the best.
I thought like presses one into like Garnet's finger and it's like,
Are we connected?
Is this for one of you?
This is unnecessary.
And yes, we're connected.
All right. I've run like 50 feet the other way. How's the connection from here?
It's
Loud and clear?
about the same, yes.
Okay. Runs back. What's the plan?
Well, what is it that you've learned about the security flaws? You haven't really told us too much about your project.
Anything. I was bullshitting. So, I mean, I have concerns, and really, I feel like Cryos would be best suited to talk to about this. He's gonna
mean-
present his project. It's way more interesting than what I have to say.
Have any of you seen Crisis Project? Looks pointedly to Alexander as their peer, as it were.
I think I've heard a bit. I don't really know the specifics of it.
He was very public in the Codex about his intentions, about what his project was. He has been oddly quiet about his findings.
Yeah, I mean, I heard it was about the seeing what the magic frequency levels around things, seeing if they're deteriorating or rising or whatnot. But
His findings are crazy. I mean, he's finding out how the Fae and the Hags and all of these creatures are getting into IOTH Academy, and we're kind of starting to think that the Academy is running out of dawn magic, and IOTH might have something to do with it, but that's just a theory.
Did you not think it pertinent to mention this previously?
It never came up in conversation.
oh, you
Oh,
know,
yeah, cool. Yeah, just our entire way of life is threatened. No, we'll just leave that for later.
Well, what the hell are we gonna do about it? It's some grown-up stuff.
Well, if you
that could be.
hadn't noticed, we'd fought a bunch of Fae before.
Right. Well, some people get paid to handle security matters, so I'm not doing someone else's job.
Yeah, but that's perfect for your meeting with Untermauler, no? You can.
Right. Yeah. See, I'll just lead with that part. Yeah.
Well, I mean, not like.
Oh, not the IOTH part. I think accusing his boss of being a evil baddie would be not great, and I might actually disappear. So,
Yeah, just like the half truth there, but that's. I mean, do you think Untermauler knows that this is happening?
I'm gonna try and find out, and maybe let you guys know. Oh, in case he can read our minds, Athalor, we need a safe word.
Sure. Just randomly looks around and like looks at Alexander. Color swatches?
Sure. Color swatches. It's a little long.
Just say swatches then. You saw how fast
Okay.
they got into our dormitory when the explosion happened. The fact
Yeah.
that we managed to enter combat with Faye twice, and neither time they showed up, I don't think they're aware.
That's a good point.
Well, I mean, they weren't even aware when Dubasif was getting, altered and controlled by students, so they seem kind of unaware of security matters, even though that's his primary role. But
I wouldn't lead with that, but yeah.
Oh, right. No criticism, of course. I plan on living.
Yeah,
I
we're
plan on
not-
living today.
We're not supposed to know about Dubasif at all. We kind of made a big pact that'll surely not haunt us in many years down the line to keep it that way. But
They may well have forgotten about us. Who knows?
Did I
yeah.
mention the part where Untermauler has already spoken to Dubasif?
How did that go?
I don't know. I did a little swirly in the sink, and I heard Untermauler's voice instead of Dubasif.
Have you tried a swirly in the sink since then to see
No,
what?
I just didn't want to get caught trying to talk to the water genie we've been
Yeah.
illegally controlling. So I'm already
Sure.
in some heat right now, so I don't really want to get more trouble.
I mean, there is
makes
someone who'd do
sense.
anything you ask them to, who might swirl some water in a sink, even if they think it's stupid.
I think I would really like them to focus on not having me killed by the giant Minotaur I'm about to meet. And so far, doing a good job.
All
Well, how about swatches if I feel like it's going badly and
We'll start designing a headstone.
yeah, obsidian if I think things are going well. I love obsidian.
Arianna's done some good work with that before. So
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
spiky? Yeah. I think you'd like a spike tombstone.
Oh, guidance. Put my fingers out.
Yep. Guidance. Yep.
Oh, okay.
There you
Thanks.
go.
Okay.
Good luck.
I miss you guys if I die.
We'll miss you too.
Thanks. Okay. As I
Alright.
guess.
I'd like to imagine Arianna was eating this entire time.
Yeah.
Just have a side
Yeah.
conversation.
Exactly.
Excellent points, guys.
True. And there is one more thing Alex wanted to do in his 2 weeks, and it was I assume in this 2 weeks has some time to at some point kind of sit down with his thoughts, not the pressures of school being there.
Mhm.
So his thoughts would probably actually linger to home and his real home, not the fabricated home that he has told everyone about, and probably would write a letter to his parents.
Mm.
And it wouldn't be very long. It would just mention, it would say not really sure. This is Alex. I'm not really sure how I found my way here, but I'm okay at IOTH Academy and learning magic. I miss you. Are you okay? After I graduate from here, I'll come back. And have you heard anything about Naomi?
All right.
And would
Aw-
send it off to the closest location he knew how to in the refugee camp. Would attempt to. If it
Okay.
makes its way there, great. If not, oh well.
They will make an attempt. They will make an attempt to deliver.
All right.
Was any of that writing done discreetly?
All of it.
Okay, cool. Still think he has no family. Let's go.
Orphans rise up.
Absolutely adorable. That was not in character. That was me. All right. Are we ready for detention?
What?
Detention.
Uh-huh.
We're in detention spectator mode.
All right, Garnet, you are escorted by flying carpet up to the spire, past the ring, where you hope to be able to attend. Probably, unless you get
Would I be able
expelled.
to tell Master Elnao before, I guess during these?
Yeah, you've had plenty of
when-
meetings with Master
I've had a
Elnao.
court summons.
I've been I'll probably let her know, and then obviously this can't be avoided, so there doesn't have to be a discussion. Just hope she knows.
Okay.
Okay, fine.
All right. Master Untermauler's office. You've been here before under very different circumstances.
Yep.
He
He's got a new jug.
ushers you in. New jug. Who dis? The water damage seems to have been entirely cleaned up. Some of the defensive spells have been renewed. Their passwords changed. New security measures implemented since the break-in. And Untermauler gestures for you to take a seat across from him at his desk and dismisses the caretaker, and the door closes with a very loud clong.
I sit.
She hasn't fucked up so far.
Miss Garnet. Second time this year you've been here.
Last time I got swept away. Wasn't that funny?
Yes. I'm glad you're well. None the worse for wear, it seems.
Yeah.
We never got the chance to finish that first conversation. The security risk. Is there anything you wish to share in that regard?
What do you want to know?
What did you come here to tell me in the first place? That Elnao said was so important that she would escort you up here just before all that unpleasantness.
Well, I attended IOTH. I'm here and heard a lot of good things. And first year, I encountered a hag in the Grove who tried to kill me and my friends. And I had to dispose of it myself. So I'm just... And let's not act like we don't know how that happened. But all that matters is that I had to handle it. And that I was only a first year. And if I wasn't already as competent as I was back then, I could have been killed.
She appears to be big dicking him.
Roll an intimidation check.
Roll for Dick.
Roll for Dick.
Dick is so huge. It's 20.
Man, he's feeling quite impotent right now. Ooh, I think it's working.
Yes. I am sorry that we weren't able to keep you safer. I'm glad that you survived. And is
I'm glad.
that why you wanted to come to my office at the gala?
Well, that's just one of the things. I'm just dealing this in chronological order, of course. I'm glad that your apologies are enough of reparations. There's been a number of security risks, including a nuke that just went off in my dorm. So, and now I'm here being interrogated instead of trying to find the source of it.
That issue has already been discussed and handled. It was an accident, a student project. Late night burst of inspiration working outside of the safe confines and normal parameters we encourage for such projects. The student in question has been re-educated on correct protocol, will be attending some additional safety courses, and continuing with her studies.
Uh-huh. So is the Academy so unsafe that IOTH can't appear himself at these inaugurations? Because, I mean, it's very common knowledge that these are illusions being used. And I feel unsafe when the principal himself can't even present himself.
She's calling him incompetent.
Is it unsafe here?
Magic is not safe. I don't need to tell you that.
Well, we know the tools don't kill people. People kill people.
And there are a lot of people here who are still learning to use those tools. And those tools include the fundamental forces of the very universe. It is never going to be safe when you get a bunch of adolescent mortals in the same place wielding the very cosmic fabric of reality. Safety is a constant struggle, an eternal endeavor, and we will continue to keep up.
She's got him monologuing.
Great. I'm glad to hear the Academy is always striving for improvement and excellence.
Now, the headmaster. Master IOTH is not at any risk He is just very busy. And I think that we would all like it if he made a personal appearance now and again. But he doesn't do his best thinking on the spot. He likes to think these things up in advance. And if that is what the Archmage of the Academy chooses to do, then so be it. It's not like the speech is the real highlight of anyone's day, after all.
You don't like his speeches? How could you say that? I think they're quite inspirational.
They're rambling nonsense, and they have been for years.
Well, if he's the face of the Academy, shouldn't you show face?
To impress who?
Me?
She's ego checking him.
I want to talk about security risks, and I think it's wise that you came to me about this. Can you describe what happened in that first encounter with that hag?
I could only describe it as a tear in reality that the hag fell into.
Roll a deception check, please.
Well, I think she's gonna imply with her voice that she fell in it.
Okay.
And
Okay.
like
All right. All right. All right.
She's implying that
Frags
it's
happen,
not
man.
that.
Frags happen.
It just she accidentally fell into it.
I see. And have any other tears in the fabric of reality ever opened up in your presence?
Oh, that was the only time.
Hmm.
Has this happened before at the Academy?
No, it has not. A great many things have only started happening recently. How would you describe your relationship with Master Elnao?
I think she's an incredible arcane mage. I'm looking forward to taking her classes in the later years. I wish she taught lower level stuff.
Okay. Absolutely roll a deception check.
You don't have to roll. Oh, okay. Kind of just sus. A little just sus.
You have guidance.
Oh, is that
True.
1d4?
Yeah.
One.
Damn it, goddamn it. Why did you say something?
Oh, no.
And have there been any other security breaches over the years that you haven't mentioned yet?
Oh, well, I mentioned everything in our last meeting until I got tsunami'd out your window. And I'm honestly just so concerned with getting a meeting with you in the head of security and getting thrown out the window. I just don't feel safe as a student here at the Academy, and not even safe in your office. It's a tragedy, really.
Yes, a tragedy. Well, do you have any idea what was going on that night? Why all of that happened in the first place?
The tsunami?
Yes.
Well, I was getting myself some water because I was really thirsty. You had me real nervous. I hadn't met you in this office before. I don't even know if I took a sip by the time the water came out. Did you lose control of the endless water spell there?
Roll a deception check, please.
She's strangely good at this.
No, we linked that to an entity responsible for regulating the water supply, which was acting oddly.
Ah.
Yeah.
Has been raining a lot lately.
Yes.
Roll an Arcana check, please, Garnet. My fucking hell.
Can't have anything in this house.
Checkmate.
Okay. He takes a small copper coin and just sort of thumbs it, eyeing it distractedly. That is the material component for the Detect Thoughts spell.
Should have taken my
I
potion.
saw that coming.
Ooh.
Something you want to tell me?
Garnet, is there anything else you can think of that I might not know right now?
Am I being forced to say something here because of the spell, or
You are not, but anything, while the spell is active, he can read your surface thoughts. So he doesn't even need to probe your brain. All he needs to do is say, don't think of a purple elephant.
Oh well,
Is it-
jeez. I'm probably like freaking out, like, oh well, there was the crack in the pillar at the gala. That was that's not really that big a deal. That wasn't. I mean, that's what sparked me coming there, but yeah. Well, I really hate being here.
Roll an...
Um,
How would we do this? Okay. Roll 1d20. You're going to do a deception check based on your intelligence because you are trying to scramble your own thoughts in order to avoid having them be useful. So your intelligence is 20, right?
yeah.
Okay. And you are proficient in deception, right?
No.
No. Okay. You've
Just
just
lucky.
been
Just
getting
lucky.
ridiculous rolls. Okay,
I know
roll
it's +4,
1d20 plus 5. Just roll an intelligence check, a flat intelligence check.
Oh, I did the 1d20 plus 5. That's still
Yeah,
the same.
that's great. That works. Okay, a 17. God damn it. All right. He jots down some notes. The conversation goes on a little bit longer. He thanks you for your time and promises that nothing is more important to him than the safety of the students at the academy.
Probably like I'm very cheery, trying to not look stressed, and overall the camouflage of the friendliness. But as she's probably walking out the door, very proper walking, trying to remember how she's been taught before of how to deal with political figures. She probably kind of turns her head, looks up, and says, "You spent more time investigating, the security breaches and less about me. Might, we could be more preventative about these kind of things."
I will take that under advisement, young lady.
That continues walking.
All right. Door closes behind you. I was just trying to get as many deception rolls as possible until one of them botched, and no joy.
Obsidian. I start singing in my head. Obsidian, obsidian. Walking down the stairs.
She's singing about obsidian.
That was her safe word, dumbass.
Skype call leaving.
User joined your channel. User has left your channel.
Probably go and meet them and tell them all about it. Oh, and he had no idea.
That was well done, Garnet. I'm impressed. You did great there.
I hate him.
Do you remember if he had that little distracting cube that we sent still around somewhere?
Did I see it? Probably when I was like pointing at the jug. Maybe I would have looked.
Roll a perception check. Yes, it was lying around. It was actually in a glass container.
Yeah, it's still there. Glass container.
I hope that doesn't come back to bite us.
Would they be able to trace it back to you? I don't think so.
Oh, there's
Quan.
it depends on how much divination Inril has, or if he's friends with the Master Seer at the Academy, because divination magic is cheating.
Well, who signs their gadgets anyway. I don't know.
I think a lot of artificers probably do.
Well, it's not our names on it.
Yoink. Oh, big narc energy here in the Codex, just barely not throwing everybody else to the wolves. Okay, how do we feel about year 5? How are you feeling about year 5, man?
Yeah.
Year 5? Year 5?
Pretty
Yeah?
good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'd hate if an
Yeah.
act of God.
I'm getting too predictable.
Oh no.
Whim of the waves, an omen appears. Roll a die. Even is bane, odd is boon. All 4 of you roll 1d20. We're gonna take the highest roll has to roll it.
12. Oh.
Oh,
Not
no.
you.
Alrighty. Crowan, roll 1d2.
1d2, okay.
Mm-hmm.
All those little red robes are gonna die horribly.
No, even is a boon, odd is a bane.
Oh, thank God for that.
Yeah.
All those little red robes are gonna die horribly.
Oh.
It's a gift of Liban. All right, cool. You get advantage. You have a little bit of extra luck, or I'd give you healing if you were damaged, but you don't. So I'm just going to give you a little bit of extra luck. You have 1 lucky die.
Nice.
All right, your 2 weeks come to an end, and you're fitted for your blue robes this time, preparing to move on to the next year and saying goodbye to the Great Hall that's been your home for the last 3-4 years. Some of these folks who you know are going to be going along with you. Some of them are going to be scattered all over the ring. Does anybody have any last things they want to do while they're here? Any goodbyes to say to the place itself? Or is it a deep meh?
Is it everyone just moving up though? Who are we saying goodbye to?
The place.
Yeah.
Just give it.
Would we do anything with the scriptorium?
Oh, it should be decommissioned.
Tear it.
Tear it
Decommission,
down.
you say?
Light it on fire.
Athalor's actually gonna go to the library and see if the cat is still.
Yes. Inril
Desperately.
Untermauler is still there and avoiding you and shunning you.
Sorry. And then leaves.
The room that Master Elnao and I study, is that still accessible during the ring, or is that not?
No, you're going to need to make alternate arrangements. And Master Elnao will discuss this with you. There's a lot more cause for... No, you can't be seen going to and from. Untermauler's been snooping around. We will... If you're going to be in that house that Cryas has secured for you, deep beneath the house are a set of catacombs. I will secure
a
us.
dungeon up in here.
There's a dungeon under there. Yeah. I will arrange that. I'll secure a space down there where we will meet. All right.
I probably want to just clean up that office that we were using and make it look like no one. Obviously, we had not been in there.
Yeah. All evidence removed. Sweep, sweep, clean, clean. Anyone else have anything that they are leaving behind or need to take with them or clean up, etc.?
I think Athalor would try and store the dagger within the armor plating,
Okay.
just along the inside.
Oh
along
yeah,
the
I gave that
sleeve.
back. I forgot that.
Just walk into Untermauler's office. Oopsie whoopsie.
Oh no!
Are we gonna have a problem?
I don't think you've been doing your job correctly.
I'm dissatisfied.
Can't protect me, can't protect yourself.
All right.
The dull blade
God.
straight knocks into the flesh.
Looking for this, nerd. All right.
Teleports behind you.
Oh
my god.
And so our heroes leave behind the lodges. They leave behind their green robes. They leave behind the great hall with its high, windy windows, its hidden passages, every nook and cranny mapped out over these last 3.5 years by Alexander. He rolls up those parchment maps and brings them with him as a keepsake. And you return to the wide amphitheater with the high marble columns under another stormy day. The rainstorms, the bad weather continues to roll on and on. And this time you are among the last to file in. Always they bring in the red robes first, and the orange robes, and the yellow robes. You can see the green robes, and every year they look younger to you. And those kids, a couple of rows behind you, they still look like grown-ups in your eyes. But that's changing bit by bit. And all the teachers file out into the theater, up onto the platform, wearing their white and gold robes. And Alyxander is behind you, and he talks about how he thought things were going to get much more exciting during the ring, and I guess it got a little bit better. But honestly, I'm going to do advanced studies in the towers after I complete my violet year, and the towers are where they start teaching you real magic. And-
Arianna at this point has had enough of Alyxander's shit, okay? Like, she is older, she is wiser, she has experience, and she turns around and she just goes to Alyxander and just like, you're never gonna be excited or happy or satisfied, are you?
Ouch.
Yo.
Wow.
Well, I mean,
Literally every year, we hear you say the same shit. This year was okay, but next year is going to be so much better. You know what you're going to say next year? We're going to be in this amphitheater. You're going to be right behind us again, and you're going to say the exact same thing.
She's not
Oh.
wrong.
Alyxander stares, and the people sitting next to Alyxander roll their eyes, and they silently mouth, "Thank you," at you.
So, where did he learn the one spell that makes Arianna snap? Is that an elective?
Oh, shut up.
It's
You shut
been
up, too.
5 years of this shit. She just turns back around. She's not waiting for Alyxander to give a response at this point. She's just like,
All right.
nope.
And
Guys, shut
Alyxander
up, the
never
projector's
talks to
about to turn
Arianna
on.
again.
Aw.
Verbal
All right.
scorching ray.
Nice.
Nice.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
As happened every single year, a master of the academy or an illusion wearing his guise manifests on the platform. Seems a little bit more focused this year. Animated, invigorated. Welcome to IOTH Academy. You have come to study the arts of magic, the great art, the last fragments of the lost power. In a world wreathed in shadows, magic is light. In a land dying of ignorance, magic is medicine. It's a bulwark holding back the very tides of time itself, washing over all that is beautiful, wearing it away. But by your knowledge, you will keep time at bay. We will instill in you the memory of what is good and worth remembering. In your minds, they will live on, and in your works, they will not be forgotten. And we will not give in to this new age of division, corruption, and endless loss. And he's gone.
Yay. Untermauler was right. These are snoozers.
Cryus looks over at you like, what?
Oh, sorry. Shh. No, go on. Go on.
Very,
Go on,
very
sweetie.
codex of you. Very codex.
Yeah, to a T. I mean, that one was a bit better than some previous years, though.
They
When
seem
it
to
comes
be
to the
awake for
speeches,
it.
it's the best of the best.
The best of the best.
The best of the average.
All right. And after that, as usual, they usher out the red robes first. They're divided up to go off to the various lodges that they'll be living in. And it takes long. This ceremony takes longer every year because you're moved up a year and you go one place later in the order. Finally, the green robes file out and they go off to the lodges again, and it's time for you to make your way to the ring. You're going up higher than ever before on the floating staircases that shift and connect to make pathways in the sky as you journey inwards towards the ring. And as you make your way there, the stairs themselves move faster to keep up because the ring spins the opposite direction that the lodges do. The lodges spin clockwise, the ring spins counterclockwise. And as you get near it, you can see that in the very bottom of the ring, there are big, almost like vault doors. And as the stairs fly at the very end, they fly closer, the vault swirls and opens up. And the caretakers warn you, this first step is a doozy. Use the guardrails. And you notice there are guardrails on all four sides of this hole in the wall, because that's the point where gravity changes over. And you go from you're basically attaching to the outside of this ring, which is now going to be the bottom of the ring. So when you walk through, at first you're walking forward, then suddenly you find yourself climbing upwards. There are extra handholds for when it changes. There's a spiraling staircase. It's a roll of Constitution saving throws, all of you, please.
Here we go,
Oh,
boys
boy.
and girls.
Question.
Yes.
Because I've been on now 2 magical carpet rides. Am I less, vertigo?
I'll give you
Sensitive.
advantage on this.
Fogger.
Fuck it, we're almost at the end of the episode, Mr. Lucky Dice Boys.
No, none of
You
you.
know what? It's even worse.
Yeah, none of you chorf, though Athalor looks a little green around the gills.
Oh,
It's just a DC 10 to make it.
Yep.
All
That
right.
don't feel right. That does not feel right.
Little
And you
weird.
find yourselves standing on the flagstones of a beautiful city made up of all these different blocks, each with their own architectural style, built over the ages, inspired every single quarter by a completely different culture. Magic is strong here. Obviously it is an IOTH Academy, but this entire place was built with magic. There's these little blocks, and one of them is a set of towers covered with stained glass. Another seems to be a bunch of spheres that were made from giant enameled pottery. There's all these different little chapter houses, and then they're separated by gardens and canals. There's water running everywhere. And when you look up, you're looking sideways at the spire because you're walking around with your feet towards the horizon. And you're looking directly up at the spire and the rest of the ring slowly turning with you.
Oh, that's going to take a long time to get used to.
Yeah.
This is cool. I wonder how they did this.
Cool but disorienting.
And you are led to Tarselmoor House.
Oh, hello.
Ooh,
Map,
new
map, 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 map.
New
Whoa.
map.
Map alert. Oh, shit. We got swag.
Okay.
Okay.
You walk the causeway here, and again, it is over one of these artificial lakes. It's like a little park. I'm not saying that it looks like one of those really nice Final Fantasy XIV houses, but if you had that in your mind, you wouldn't be entirely wrong. You walk across this causeway to get here. There's a tower. There's a few different towers. Each of the halls, they've got 3 floors to them. The top floor here, you can see the greenhouse at the very, very top. It's a big old... Ignore this size. This is not to scale. This is not like 10 feet. It's a very large facility.
We've got ourselves a Lego Man house.
Exactly. And the rock, there's these sort of 2 major rock formations and bridges connecting them and a number of towers on all sides. And the building extends down into the rocks multiple floors as well, which is where they're going to be sending their artificers to blow things up. So you all get the chance to move into your rooms. We're going to leave vague. The default will be the room pairings that you agreed on, but obviously folks, if you want to hash things out with the community, if anyone else was gunning for that. Otherwise, we'll have all of our roommates figured out. You also get a new set of classes to pick from. And your digs now, you've lived in like a barracks in the Grove. You lived in your little quad. Now you've got a room, a proper room with 2 beds on opposite sides, a little bit more custom space, a little bit more personal belongings. It's slightly more grown up overall. Space isn't really an issue when you can sort of fold the fabric of reality. I will be putting up maps for our community, so you'll be able to check out this place and call dibs on things and find out about all the facilities over the next week. But let's talk about classes. Because your 5th year, things are going to get a little bit trickier. I know I say that every year, but I really mean it this time.
So does Lozrin.
Yes. Well, no, Alozin says everything is boring.
Oh, he
Lozrin's like an inverse self-insert.
Yeah.
A self-inverse.
He's the anti-me. Bear with me just a moment. Life at IOTH Academy. Here we go. Okay.
Pardon me.
Your classes this year include spell matrices, arcane theories and proofs, numerology, and world studies. These are core classes. You are all taking them. And yes, I said numerology. And yes, that means math.
Roll for math.
Oh, why?
Yay, math!
I know it's a
Alright,
fantasy
you're
game.
fine.
We try to escape from.
Oh, I hate it.
Had a good run, but we're failing out.
And
Oh,
yes,
Ariana's failing this year.
the
100%.
series ends here.
Just dropping through the codex ranks like a rock.
Oops.
All right, today we're going to do magical bidmass or bodmass or whatever you guys probably had podmass or something with parentheses instead of brackets.
Gonna have to kill a few more red caps.
Magical franking, when does that come in?
Well, funny you should ask it, because here is your choice of electives. You don't have to decide this now, but it must be decided by next week. And here's the kicker. Each of these electives, there's no end of year project. There's an end of year field trip. And when you hear what these classes are, you'll get an idea of what kind of field trip we're talking. Otherworld studies. The study of the fairy world. Underworld studies. Overworld studies. Study of the Sky Kingdom. And Inril Untermaulers. History and tactics of battle and warfare.
I think we all know which one Garnet is not picking.
Let's just take
Yeah,
a temperature
I don't know.
check. What is Alexander leaning towards right now? Again, you don't have to decide this episode, but it must be locked in next episode.
I think upon kind of reading the course curriculum, I don't know if this is a normal thing, but he would kind of get like a temperature check of field messenger in his head and kind of see if one of those gets any reaction.
Mm-hmm.
That insufferable Lozrin fool was right about one thing. Your choices will get more interesting as we move on. I'm more curious in the progress that you and your little friends are making towards finding out what it is Master IOTH is doing that's tearing this entire place down.
All right.
That said, if you seek power over the elements, then the underworld is what you want. But perhaps it would do well to get closer to Untermauler to keep an eye on him. Learn how he thinks.
To the underworld I will go.
Sooner or later.
Where is Athalor leaning right now?
Athalor is very much leaning towards the history and tactics of battle and warfare with magic. But as usual, we'll have the conference call.
Combat magic. Irrelevant. Construction of talisman. Key importance. Custody of sphere. Unknown. Potentially in Untermauler's custody. Worth investigating.
Oh, I'm glad we're in accord then, even if our goals are slightly different on this. History it is.
What about Garnet? How's she feeling at the moment? Underworld studies immediately on lock?
Yeah.
Okay.
Going to the underworld, going to the Wait, how? Anyway, we'll figure that
Last time you went there,
You'll
you
learn
drowned.
in this class.
out.
And
Go on,
Arianna,
okay.
what is she leaning towards?
You said something about fairies, so she's kind of assuming at this point. Like, I don't think she cares what the class is about. She just knows where she's going, and there's
Okay.
probably some pretty neat things there.
All right, cool. We will, over the course of the next week, find out who your classmates will be, see who all is in Codex House, see who's rooming with who, get to know a little bit more about your new digs. But there was one thing that we haven't dealt with yet, shortly after this year begins. Garnet, you've been keeping track of your calendar, right?
Yeah.
Tinder is ringing.
Mm-hmm.
True.
The appointed hour is upon you. And a meeting has been arranged. In the days approaching this promised date, what's on Garnet's mind? Is she doing anything particular or just waiting?
I think she's like getting in a very morbid mood. She's probably like getting in, not like being as obvious of like saying her goodbyes to everyone, but she doesn't know what the result of this meeting is going to be.
Mhm.
She's literally going to meet with someone more powerful than she's ever known. So it's kind of like writing some letters, sealing them to probably a letter to everyone, just keeping
Mhm.
them in a journal somewhere so that if something happens, her final words are there. And is probably going to be kind of in an off mood in front of Master Elnao and wants to tell her about it, but just knows she wouldn't approve.
Mhm.
So decides to not.
Okay. Elnao notices that you're not really focused and is talking about security now that we're a little bit closer here and we're going to be moving into some of the more advanced techniques. And I thought you'd be excited by this. All right, teenagers.
Well,
And
just, and Mahler put me in a mood. That's all.
doesn't he all of us? But you
When
can't
you-
let things
when-
like this harm your focus, Garnet. Shadow magic requires nothing short of absolute focus.
Why couldn't you become the security head? Aren't you way better than he is?
My aspirations are higher.
Higher? Ooh, Mrs. IOTH?
No, I ain't saying she's a
No.
dawn digger.
Got him.
IOTH's heart is elsewhere. Accounted for.
Think this academy would fail under him? Do you think that too?
Remains to be seen.
Like,
Well,
it's
an
starting to
insight
happen
check,
right now.
Garnet.
I need, please. I always fail these insights in front of her.
The unreadable sky elf.
Oh wait, I had advantage. Sorry.
That's fine. We'll take the first. We'll take the 15. When she said that IOTH's heart is elsewhere, she didn't mean that he's in love with his work. She meant that he has other romantic interests.
What do you mean by that? I'm probably asking her. What do you mean heart elsewhere? Where else would it be but here? The school's named after him.
He I shouldn't talk about it. It's not my business.
Well, I think we'd all be better off if you were in charge too. Anyway, what chapter?
Yes, back to
Sorry.
it. That night, your dreams are filled with frozen corpses and icy winds, and a voice.
The catacombs at midnight. Awaken.
Said I
And
wanted to meet in the dream. It's safer.
you wanted to meet in the dream?
She's bringing
Yeah.
it infernal to our fucking
Okay.
house.
All right.
I think I said like to
McCall is
meet
coming from
here,
inside the
Okay.
house.
All right. That's fair.
just because I think like is that a right assumption to make?
No,
with
that's
the
no. I think
knowledge
that's fair.
that
I think that's
Dream
fair.
world is probably safer. Okay.
Yeah. The herald will arrange for that. All right. That's fine. Actually, that works. That works to my advantage.
Uh,
The
second thought. Just what's up with the cat? Just
The
DM
freezing
intensifies.
winds give way to the smell of blood and metal. And the sound of vast mechanisms ticking all around you. So large, they encompass the entire school, the entire world, all 4 kingdoms, caught in the gears of an unspeakable mechanism. You can hear it whirring, churning, clicking, out beneath your feet, behind you, in the skies above you. And the dreamscape changes, and a figure stands with their back to you, wearing rust-colored robes. Turns slowly to face you with a sound. And the face it wears in the dream is familiar. One of your classmates.
Oh, fucking no way, dude! I knew this, but I knew he was sus fuck, bro. No way.
Tune in next week for more Book of Dawn IOTH Academy. Bye, everybody!